Jamie14 Productions presents September 13th, 2005.
Silence! This court is now in session. Our case is this: mystery culprit versus the Jamie Single Railway. Plaintiff, transportation, safety advocate, mysterious giant, defendant Sir Mario. The defendant may have the floor.
Thank you, Your Honour. Well, let's just say this railway has always had a bad safety record, but lately the amount of accidents is astounding, and the latest one resulted in an innocent man and severe damage to my butthole.
What damage? You seem to get it okay.
Well, I got better, but anyway, it is absolutely ridiculous that this railway is always having accidents, and that is why I am suing this man for gross negligence.
Mario.
Huh? Oh, yes, I'm listening.
Do you have anything to say to these allegations?
I most certainly do. First off, I will admit that the safety record isn't as great as we'd hope. See? He even admits it!
Silence, evil radio.
Anyways, we've had a few incidents. I won't deny that. But in all the months I've worked here, we've had exactly just one death. One. A death that could have easily been prevented, for God's sake. See, listen, this is where evil radio is getting it wrong. Men, think back to those incidents. King Henry III falling off the tracks in 1974. Remember that incident? Or the incident where three men trashed a train set at the Market Deeping Model Railway Club. Remember that one? Or, for example, that incident with the hijackers, where, for example, the incident where High had stolen the kids on a train crash and caused a huge accident. Or, for example, the runaway incident, where there had been a massive extension of a train crash and there was a big mess. Or last year with the incident where King Henry III had crashed into the works. Or that incident with the boulder, etc. All of these incidents were cases of being at the wrong place at the wrong time. King Henry III's crash was caused by another engine breaking down on his line that forced him to be put into the works where he couldn't stop in time, and the rails were slippery. And the boulder incident? Haven't you all forgotten that it was revealed that someone had trespassed and accidentally disturbed the boulder, causing it to fall off the works and run loose? That is not entirely true, liar! It came loose after you tried to move it with a helicopter! Shut up. How else was I supposed to move a bloody boulder that size?
Alright, that's enough. Lawyers, do you have anything to contribute?
Yes, sir, I do. Although Mario, my boss, may not be responsible for the incidents, he isn't responsible in the eye of the law. He is head of the railway and must make sure it runs safely, which is a fault signal which seems to cause the death accident, and must hear that the inspection wasn't caused regularly.
Our inspections are very thorough, let me tell you that. Well, obviously not enough!
Silence! Lawyers, you may continue. Thank you. As Mario clearly stated, the flaw this incident was most likely unavoidable. Looking through all the records, the signal system did pass the last inspection, and for the snag any reliability, Mario.
I'm afraid it does not. If anything like I just said it proves that the checks were not done properly. Either that or that the driver wasn't telling the truth and was distracted.
You already heard the driver and fireman's testimony. The driver, the fireman, and the engine, even the workmen, all stated that the signal was green. That's 5 witnesses.
Indeed. Mario, do you have anything to say after hearing that?
Well, I don't know what happened with that signal and why it had a fault after it had just been inspected. All I can say is that I have faith in my workmen, and those I don't have faith in, I immediately discard. Whatever caused this signal fault must have been a force we could never have predicted, and if I would have known about this force before the accident, I would have made sure it was fixed. Someone's making you people act like I run this railway as some sort of joke. They're making you into thinking that they think I don't give a damn about passenger safety. Utter catkeek! I take these railway operations very seriously. The priority is, I always will be, the safety of the passengers. Wait until you hear the actual reports of the investigation before someone stupid breaks into your mind and tells you any more of their own bloody cat poop about my railway.
Yes, well, thank you for that speech, Mario. And the investigation will be reported tonight.
That was PM. What do you think? Is it in our favour? It's hard to say, boss. You put up some very valid points, but all at the same time so's evil radio. The reality is, the outcome of this trial depends on the investigators' findings. Then they should have revealed that information to me before the trial, don't you think? PM.
All right. Now then, present your findings, investigator. I shall indeed. We've conducted a thorough investigation of this incident. We have come across some interesting findings. This was all withheld from the public because we felt that if they had the knowledge of these events, it could be quite dangerous.
What?
Something's up. It was not just the signals, but the points as well. It was a combination of the points being the wrong direction and the signal showing the wrong message.
Well, obviously, that's why someone's now dead and we're all still here.
Silence! Here's the thing though. The nature of the fault was nothing like we had ever seen before. Signals and points are all electronic now these days. If the points were jammed, then there would be a warning light at the signal box. Based on the signalman's testimony, there wasn't one, and to add to that, the signals are all automated. So, if the train is stationary on the same line within a certain distance, they would automatically go red. Based on certain witness accounts, it was most certainly not red. The point stayed stuck, yet the signal remained green, despite there being a train ahead.
But surely someone would have noticed earlier that the points were not working. There's tons of trains that run through there, for God's sake.
That's a good point, but after I finished it will make sense. How do I put this? This fault, the signal, the points, the accident, the death of the guard, they were all deliberate.
I do beg your pardon. What utter dog poop! That's so bloody ridiculous. Ignoring the reason why someone would do that. How could they have timed it all up? That seems like a lot of coincidences to rely on.
I'll give you the simple answer. This person knew the timetable of the railway's operations.
Of course. Who has knowledge of that? Oh yes, Mario! It was him! Are you daft? I would never dream of something like that.
Silence! The evidence clearly indicates that Mario is not the culprit.
Correct. Show it to me! Now!
This, gentlemen, is the key. We found it on the rails underneath the impacted coaches, as if it had slipped out of someone's bag, and I tell you, it is extremely good luck that it did. This reveals everything. As you can see, there are notes describing a very sinister plan, and it reveals exactly how it was carried out. First of all, as I said before, the person knew which trains would be running by at what time of the works. He then did something very clever. He went to the points with some tools. He put a device into the point. Then, using a remote control, this device was able to jam them. Then somehow he altered the mechanism in the warning system so that no warnings would show up.
But how do you know it was the same person from the book? What if some maniac wrote in his journal and by coincidence that happened to be a regular signal fault?
We have CCTV footage at around 2:06 in the morning. The security cameras all went black, all except one. One you've probably forgotten about. We conclude he somehow acted the security cameras and shut them all off, but obviously not all of them.
Just one question though. Who is he?
That, I am afraid, we don't know. As you can see, he's wearing clothing that hides his identity, so it will be tricky to identify him. What is clear though is that whoever this is, he wanted to stage a failed accident, and it does it in there. An inspection of the deceased guard's body reveals something that even further contributes to that. His injuries did not match those of the train crash. He had quite a blow to the head, but a very concentrated one, as if he was hit by a sharp object. There was nothing in the carriage that was sharp enough to implement such damage like that. Therefore, we have a theory. That theory is that the guard was struck with a pickaxe shortly before the crash.
You mean he was murdered?
Yes, Mario. Our theory is that whoever orchestrated this horrible act wanted to make sure that this man was dead. They didn't want to risk him surviving the crash, so they took a precaution. Unfortunately, we have to determine who it was that killed him. But what is clear is that someone is trying to tarnish the UK. You see, this book not only reveals this incident, but two earlier incidents as well.
What are you talking about?
This, the crash at the works long ago, and the Boulder incident all have something in common.
No. You don't mean...
I'm afraid so, Mario. They were all orchestrated by someone. Look in this book. Here it reveals plans to insert a small explosive into the engine of a Dean goods. This engine was the same as one that broke down in September of last year. This engine blocked the line and a goods train was forced into a siding where it could not stop.
Let me read the rest of that. It says, fortunately, the shrapnels had been cut since then, and it was thought that the Dean goods had just ingested them somehow, but then it reveals a few shrapnels that were one species of a small firecracker. It had been cleverly timed to explode right before the Dean goods reached the station and set the shrapnels into the engine, causing it to fail. Any remaining evidence of an explosive was all burnt up. We assume that this small device was placed into the engine while the Dean goods was sleeping that night, and the trains were swapped on that day as well. And what about the boulder?
It was revealed after the incident that someone had disturbed it. And they're right, but they didn't realise that it was disturbed on purpose. They used an explosive to get the boulder moving, but it rolled in the wrong direction towards the rails. After that failed, it revealed something interesting as the boulder was harnessed up to the helicopter. Someone fired a large bullet from the ground and it struck the rope, weakening it.
Let me read the rest of that. The bullet was never found, but the helicopter did report hearing a faint gunshot-like noise. There's something else. It says that this notebook was never intended for us to see. It was used as instructions for all these acts of sabotage, and whoever it belonged to is likely now feeling very stupid. Sabotage? But who would sabotage my railway?
So that means we will conduct a more thorough investigation about this. But what I would like to say to you all, that Mario is completely innocent here. So, lawyers, what is your ruling?
Our ruling is that these events revealed to us were entirely out of Mario's control and were an act of malicious sabotage. Therefore, we find the defendant not guilty. Oh, you've got to be joking!
Very well then, case dismissed.
Congratulations, boss. I knew we could do it. I couldn't have done it without you guys, but I now feel it doesn't matter anymore. Someone is attacking the country, and that is a grave concern. I'm sure they'll find out who it is quickly. Hello? Hello, Mario. I'm at Polton Park right now. What I can say is, congratulations on winning the trial. We have agreed to keep you in control of the railway. Thanks for that. But of course, now there's even a bigger issue. What was revealed in the trial is quite shocking. We must get to the bottom of this as soon as possible. I fully agree. We will increase our security immediately. Well, to be honest, whoever did it must be in an extreme fright now, having been caught. I don't think we'll be trying that anymore. That's the question. will we get caught again? Right now in Great Britain, we've got a phantom saboteur to catch. At Stratford. PM. Well, we've been found out. You better get out of here fast!
No, it's time for some real revenge.
Very well then, Joseph Stalin. To be continued in part 2.